Hello and welcome to the More Than Roommates podcast. I'm Dan, here with my roommate Graham. Graham, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah?
It's like a nice chilly kind of fall feeling, November Sunday.
Yeah.
Little rain. My mom's got chicken pot pie in the oven.
Yes,
so
we're getting chicken pot pie after this.
Sunday dinner.
And we have all next week off.
I don't have Monday off.
Okay. I have all of next week off, so
I
I'm
wish
excited.
I had the whole week, but
it's very nice. Oh, also,
duty calls.
If you're watching, you can see we decorated. I have my little mini tree. We actually decorated the rest of the house. We have...
Yeah, we did our divide and conquer kind of Saturday like we typically do. So
yeah, Graham hung up the lights outside.
Got the leaves kind of blown out from the foundation, mowed all that up, and Dan was inside cleaning, and then we both tackled the Christmas decoration process. So.
And this was our first year setting up 2 Christmas trees. Someone had given me a little Christmas tree that I've never set up.
Dan was rolling around in the Dan van with like a Christmas tree in the back seat. I was
for
like,
years, and I've never set it up.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to put it in the corner here, but I do think it will get more view in our other room in the basement.
Yeah,
so
next to the fire.
Sorry guys, but the little one will be perfect. So so this episode should be coming out right before Thanksgiving, so we hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving if that's what you celebrate. If this will be the perfect thing to listen while you're on your drive. We can keep you awake and kind of entertain you. So what are your thoughts on Thanksgiving? Are you a big Thanksgiving guy?
I mean, to the extent of spending time with family and eating good food. Yes. You can hold the genocide.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I don't take everything too seriously. You know what I mean? It's not like I don't know.
Yes.
You know?
I think in years
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I just said I don't know,
Yeah. No, I think so. In years past, I think I've been very anti-holiday and very it stresses me out getting the obligation, and especially where my family lives a state away, it's kind of more of a hassle. But this year, I think I'm gonna try to get in the spirit as much as possible.
Yeah, same. We're feeling it this year.
Yeah, we've already decorated. I want to see people. And I'm just going to try to not be so stressed. But I do have the take of it's just a lot of pressure. It's a lot of work to get the perfect meal, who's all coming, who's bringing stuff. Yeah. There's a lot going on to it.
And then it's hard when you have to bring stuff when you're
traveling.
To prepare when you're traveling, like you said, a state away.
Right, because whatever I end up having to make, it's going to be me and my mom fighting in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
For same space, same utensils. So I'm making the bread. I'm making some sourdough rolls. I will include some pictures if I've
from
made
last
them.
year?
Well, this year I'm going to attempt to... Sarah showed me that you can cut them to make them look like little turkeys.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm gonna wrap them to be little pumpkins. So I'm going all out for these rolls. You think a roll is just the little side dish, but
yeah, you're gonna bring your A game.
Bring the A game. I want to make
they were fire last year too.
Yeah.
They have sugar in them though, right? Is that the difference between that and a sourdough loaf? Basically.
Oh, a normal bread loaf, it has just water and salt. Mm-hmm. This one has butter and milk and sugar.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of stiff.
I was thinking there was sugar in it, but I was like, well, that's why it's so good.
Yeah, it's a lot fluffier and stuff. I wanted to make some jalapeno cheddar rolls, but I just feel like people will be like, "Oh, this is too much." We got little kids.
Why is it spicy?
Why is it spicy? So we're going basic. Maybe next year I can step it up. I gotta level it up each year. What would you say is your favorite holiday or Thanksgiving food? Your dish?
Pre-dinner deviled eggs for sure. My grandma and my mom, my mom has my grandma's recipe, I think, but it's actually kind of sickening how many deviled eggs you can eat. If you think about it, a normal day you might have 3 or 4 eggs max.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, but then deviled eggs, you can just eat 5 of them.
It's like the mozzarella sticks. Do you want to eat 6 cheese sticks? And you're like, no, that's too much. But you want me to deep fry it? Okay, let me eat 6 of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, deviled eggs are good, especially with some relish and some jalapenos. Mm-hmm. Back to that.
So that's the app. But were you wanting to know
what
my main? So I'm like a side dude. Like,
yeah, of course.
Love the carbs, I'm like team green bean casserole. That's kind of like my specialty I make.
Yeah, I love
but
green bean casserole.
Sweet potatoes, candied yams.
No,
it's a staple for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
That's low on my list. Normal mashed potatoes. I
do love that too.
The canned cranberry sauce, like when it just plops out of it. I love it. It's so tart and tangy.
Yeah. It's good with turkey. Yeah. I like to put a little on there, maybe a little on a roll or something too.
I do have to tell you guys about my injury 2 years ago now. It was
almost 3 years ago, wasn't it?
No, I think we're coming up on the second anniversary. Okay. But it was right before the Christmas holiday. It was my first day of my vacation.
Yeah,
I was just trying to make like a nice meal just for the two of us, and I had bought a new potato peeler. Mm-hmm. If you see where this is going, I was trying to take the cover off to wash it for the first time.
Yeah,
and the plastic cover wasn't coming off, and finally it popped off. And when I did it, it like gouged into my finger and took a nice little chunk of skin out.
Yeah. Well, was I like playing PlayStation, or was I like chilling out, or what was I doing?
You were like getting ready. You were in like another room.
Yeah, I remember being in another room and you just being like, babe, come here.
I was very calm. Yeah. It surprised. Well, it didn't hurt because I think it was such a clean cut.
Yeah.
It was pretty deep, and there was definitely. Sorry if this is
trigger warning.
Skip ahead, but like there was like a chunk of skin on the counter, so that was when I was like, okay, decisions need to be made. Do I need to put it on ice? Do we need to rush to the ER? Again, it wasn't a big cut, but I'm like, okay, this could affect how my finger looks going forward. So
yeah,
seconds matter. So I found the piece of skin, and then we FaceTimed your parents because I was like, we need an adult.
I mean, we couldn't get it. I ran to Walgreens like immediately. Like,
I went and, you bought like that was very
I went and got
cute
him like
him.
Finger condoms and
you got like he was like that boyfriend that he just bought everything.
Yeah,
and we wrapped it up, but it was.
Of course, keep in mind, it happens typically outside of the hours when like clinics are open. It was like a Saturday night.
Urgent care was closing in 3 minutes. So we normally I would have just gone to urgent care, but it was now the only option was to go to the ER, and I'm like, I don't.
And we didn't know what your insurance was gonna cover. Remember, we had to. I think we tried to look at your policy to call and see who was in your network and whatnot too.
I didn't even at that time. I was just like,
I was like, I didn't want him to get hit with some ridiculous charge, for it to be like an out of network provider.
Yeah, and so
insurance is obnoxious. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, so we FaceTimed your parents, and we kind of decided it wasn't dire. So I slept on it. And
we tried to watch a movie.
But I had the worst night's sleep. I just kept worrying that I had wrapped it too tight and the circulation was getting cut off, and then it was throbbing all night. So finally in the morning, like as soon as like the urgent care opened, I was like, can we go?
Yeah.
So they cauterized it, and it felt so much better after that. So they didn't
It never stopped bleeding, right?
No. And so they didn't reattach the skin, but it just created a nice little scab. You wouldn't notice it, but that was quite the adventure last year. So I'm off potato duty is a long way of saying that.
Yeah, Dan and I was there for him 100% back in, I don't know, I think I was about 18. I used to work for Quiznos was my first job. Oh, yeah. Did I mention?
Yeah, you sliced your finger there.
Yeah, so I was cleaning the meat slicer, and I don't know what I bumped it on when I was, and it just like, it took literally like a whole like slash out of my thumb. Like it took nail and skin. It was just like trigger warning again, but it was just like it sliced it clean off. And my mom ended up coming and getting me because I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna drive. Like I drive stick shift, and my car at the time was a stick, and I was like, how am I gonna steer with like this, like you know what I mean? So my mom came and got me, and we went to urgent care, and that was my number one concern. I was like, how is this gonna grow back? you feel like it's a human. Like you're not like an animal that can like regrow like a limb or I know it's not like a whole
I've
limb.
heard if it's like above the first knuckle, it's likely it will grow back.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
But yeah, I remember I had like an Austrian guy or something who I think he was from Austria. He had a very like thick kind of Germanic accent. And I remember him, like, I was asking him, I was like, dude, is this going to, like, be, like, deformed, you know? And he was like, oh, I think it'll grow back fine, you know, nothing to scare the girls off.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. But, it's round. Like, I don't know if...
Yeah.
Yeah, way too far away, I'm sure.
Like,
but
yeah.
You can see, like, there's, like, a little bit of scar tissue. Do you see that white?
I see it, yeah.
And there's no feeling there, really.
Yeah.
Like, I can feel pressure, kind of probably like your knee.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
You can feel the pressure, but you can't really feel...
what it is.
The sensation. It's just, like, yeah.
I
Wild.
have never...
Sucks.
You reacted well when I injured myself. I have never been around someone when they've gotten severely injured.
Oh.
I would like to think that I would be pretty on it and helpful, but I don't know. I don't think it's something you know until you have to do it. Mm-hmm. So hopefully I don't have to. I've made it quite a long time without having to be there, but we'll see what happens. So was there anything else you wanted to discuss about Thanksgiving?
No. I mean, it's just one of those, you know, traditions. It's changed a lot for me throughout the years too. Like I grew up, you know, with what I would consider, you know, a big family on my mom's side. Like my grandma would always host like all the holidays, and she like seriously like 50, 60, 70 people would go in and out through the holidays. But I feel like during like our meals, like my mom and my grandma and my aunts and, you know, a lot of gals, you know, were working in the kitchen, and we had like the full dining room, and like the kids, we had our own area, you know, like there were a lot of people that ate, and it's just kind of amazing, you know, and a little nostalgic, you know. So I still love spending, you know, time with my mom. It's a little sad, you know, I lost my dad back in 2019. Yeah. So, you know, it just, you know, you see, you know, after my grandma passed away, you know, like that, she was kind of like a focal person in my family, you know. So when she passed away, you know, like we finished the holidays up at her house, and then it just kind of like got to be less and less throughout the years. But it's been kind of nice being able to go with your family too, you know. Just like to see, you know, like nieces and nephews running around and causing hell, you know. It reminds me of kind of like how it was at my grandma's when we were kids, you know?
I know. It's definitely like they can be a reminder of how much has changed in your family. So that is definitely something. I still am very like the thought of having just a holiday just between the two of us is something I would still love to do at some point. Like make our own feast and just spend the day together, because for us what it's been is like
we switch off kind of
and just going, and honestly the past couple of years we've been hitting everyone. We have not missed a holiday completely. Like we'll make it up maybe a month later, but it's like holiday, extended birthday, family. So it's like at some point I think we will have to have that conversation with family to be like, we can't hit it all every year, every holiday, you know. So I don't know, it's something to think about. But
it's easy when you live in the same town as your family. It's a lot quicker to meet up. But being, you know, that far away, not that it's like the farthest distance, but it's just enough to be annoying. Like last year when we came home from Thanksgiving, like I would not recommend traveling on the Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Should have been a 4.5 hour drive turned into 9?
I thought it was like 7, but it was still obnoxious. It was crazy. Yeah. We got stuck in Columbia, where the University of Mizzou is, for well over an hour. I think I'd fallen asleep when we had gotten out of, you know, STL. And then I remember waking up when we were in Columbia, and I feel like I dozed off, and I feel like I slept like an hour. I probably did, and I woke up and I'm like, are we still in Columbia? Like, what is going on?
We were just crawling, and then we made it all the way to Kansas City, and we're like, okay, home stretch, just an hour left, and then the Kansas City Chiefs game let out, and so traffic stalled
right when we got into
so we
Casimo.
got stuck in a standstill for an hour, and I'm like, gosh, I wanted to get out of that car so bad.
Yeah.
So we're planning ahead. We're not leaving on the Sunday after.
Yeah.
Not doing that one again.
So planning. Yeah.
Yeah. So we hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving, but I want to get into our other topic today.
I was just going to give one final thought on Thanksgiving. So the way we kind of do it, like Dan's side usually has 2 Thanksgivings.
Right.
And I remember like the first year I was going to join, I think it was your aunt and uncle were hosting. It was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to like drop their names out there, but B&L.
Yes,
Yeah. So I just remember being like a little bit like I had never met like Dan's, kind of extended family before. And I remember like not being super nervous because I always have a blast with his immediate family. Like we, get along really well. But I remember thinking, man, this might be kind of overwhelming too.
Yeah, I could imagine because it's a lot of people.
Like, coming in and then, you weren't obviously like, you were what, 24 or something at the time, or 25 maybe.
Yeah.
But it was still kind of like, okay, I'm 6 years older and like we're, a gay couple. And like, I didn't know like how his family was going to react. It was just kind of a lot of pressure, but
it was crazy. Yeah. Cause I had never brought a partner over and then it was a guy. But I didn't get any weird vibes. I didn't think there would be, but you just never know too. You just like, even like people get nervous bringing like a girl, like a normal partner over. So you just are like, oh yeah, I just hope everyone's on their best behavior.
Right.
But everyone was, it went very well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. There's some stuff to be thankful for.
For sure. Yeah. So hopefully if you're out there and you get nervous about it, it'll all be okay. Hopefully. But so the other thing we wanted to talk about today, oops, I almost just slipped off that, is a follow-up to a topic we talked about. We're getting into the YouTube drama 2 episodes in a row.
I have him to thank for all that.
I know. Sorry. That is what I love watching. I've been watching this for so long. I love everything YouTube. So we talked about Colleen Ballinger a long time ago now.
We can link to that episode too.
Yeah, go watch our other episode. Sorry, let me take
I can't remember everything we talked about anyway, but it might be.
But she got in a lot of controversy of having group chats.
Who is she? Yeah.
Colleen Ballinger. She's a YouTuber. She's like a family YouTuber. She vlogs a lot of her life.
And you've been watching her for like years, right?
Yes.
Oh, and she was on MTV, like True Life. I was like, how did I like completely missed that?
And she's on like Jimmy Fallon. Like she's like a kind of a semi-household name. And she was exposed for like being in group chats with kids, sending
Colleen's weenies. Yeah,
sending it was just like inappropriate pictures to kids. It was
Trisha Paytas.
Yeah,
like her. Oh, I don't know if it's her OF account.
Yeah. So she like hadn't posted anything, and she finally came back, and
after a whole summer of like silence, like. There were like developments like blowing up left and right from different people, like calling out some of the behavior that they experienced, right? And
just never apologized, always said it was accusations and like diminished a lot of it. And so she came back and everyone was surprised. It was just like a normal video, but the first 2 minutes she was addressing it a little bit. Do you want to play it?
Yeah.
We're going to play like a little bit of it and then kind of react to it.
So for sure.
You want me to?
Yeah, go for it.
I have my iPad, but I figured out I can't use YouTube on it anymore. I have to update it. So let me see.
Yeah.
We'll do it this way.
Sorry I've been gone for so long. I've really missed this. I've missed talking to everyone every single day. Obviously, the last video that I posted on here is really embarrassing, to say the least. I was being accused of some pretty awful things, and I just was mad, and I should have handled that situation with maturity and empathy, but instead I just let my ego take over, and I'm really disappointed in myself.
And so just like the first
Yikes.
thing when she diminished that, she said there's been a lot of things accused of me. Like there's been some admission by her to people privately that she did do those things. So it's like,
Well, there's screenshots, like there
Yeah.
are receipts out there, you know.
Yeah.
But the fact that she said, so she had another video which she had a ukulele and she sang about the toxic gossip train.
Yeah.
We did talk about that in our last video.
Yeah.
But did you catch that though? She said, "Oh, I was just mad."
Yeah.
So she, like, the first thing you do is run to YouTube and make like a. It was almost like a parody.
Yes.
You know, like it very much gave like unhinged vibes.
Yes.
You know.
And
But now, and isn't it like one of her most viewed videos now?
Yes, and that's I want to get into some of the tactics
Okay.
behind this,
Yeah.
but let's just finish. I think there's only like a minute more.
Sure.
So, here's what I want to say today.
Look how big her bed is.
In the last 15 years of my career, there have been moments where I was immature and inappropriate with some of my comedy. And there were times when I did not put enough thought into some of my fan interactions. And because of that behavior, people got hurt. And I am so sorry.
Because of that behavior, not because of my behavior.
It's clear that I did, and I feel so terrible about that. I also feel like there's probably people who are disappointed.
So that's pretty much what she says, and then she just goes into a normal video.
Yeah, like she talks for like 2 minutes and then starts in on like family updates, and then she's like giving you a tour of like her chicken coop. Like
Yeah.
she takes like 2 to 3 minutes.
And this is kind of the angle that I want to go with that
Yeah.
I don't know has been talked about. But one thing we did watch, and someone broke it down, and they did say it was interesting that it's been almost 6 months since her last video. And apparently YouTube will demonetize your channel if you haven't posted for 6 months. So they're saying it was very strategic that she posted now. So she keeps that ad revenue coming in. And that she's saying she's embarrassed about that last video, but she still has it up and it's one of her most viewed videos. So she still gets all that money from that ad revenue. Now she could go with, and like she talks about like how like she's got to be there for her kids and stuff. So she is a mother, and I feel for that. But this is where I just don't get it. You put yourself through all of that and all that public shame, like New York Times wrote about her.
Yeah.
Why would you ever put your family through this again? And you could say, oh, it's because, you know, like she needs to keep making money. She needs to make a living. But like, she obviously made millions over her career.
But you never know what she's got in the bank.
That is true.
Yeah.
And
she could have invested it, or she could have spent it, you know?
yes,
Who knows?
but this is what just makes me mad, where it's like, I feel like if you make that much money, why do you have to keep doing that? Like, you don't need to work anymore. If you made smart investments, you can invest that money and make that money work for you. So I don't see like why you need to keep putting yourself out there, putting your family through this.
Because it's easy at this point for her, I feel like.
Yeah.
She's already built, you know, a following, and like you said, like, it's free content, you know, like, it's such an easy concept, you know what I mean? But it'll make her so much money.
Yeah, because
Like, why not give that up, you know? Or why would you give that up, you
Yeah.
know? Even if, obviously, it just seems shameless, but...
yeah, I mean, I guess money talks.
It
But it's
does,
just
yeah.
like, you know, even this time of year, supposedly on YouTube, that's when people make the most AdSense revenue.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, if I had made that much money, you would hope that you would just find a way to not have to work. Like, after working in the corporate world, you're just like, if there's a way out that you could like become your own boss, and I guess she has, but I don't know. I just thought that was crazy that you would even put yourself back through the spotlight.
Yeah.
There's something not
It's
right
no
with that.
shame. It's just money. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
the only
business.
thing that, yeah, exactly. Doesn't matter who gets stomped on, you know?
So
You
do
know.
you think YouTube has any responsibility to deplatform her?
That's a good question. You know, on one hand, like, how do you, like, I mean, analyze
guess
the whole situation, you know?
Yeah, I guess until it's been proven in a court of law, I guess it's
guess
not their
so.
place.
Yeah, because it's kind of hearsay. I mean, there are receipts,
yeah,
you know what I mean? But
no one has taken legal action against her
but
that we know.
We heard also in that like kind of breakdown that she hired like a very high profile like celebrity attorney that represented one of
I don't know if we should say because we don't know if that's true.
Yeah, whatever.
But yes, that's true. She lawyered up, but I don't know why. If anything has happened, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, if you're lawyering up, there's probably, you know, but then again, it is business and
just protecting
at the
yourself.
end of the day, yeah. But I don't know. It's just without.
I just could not bring myself to come back after all that.
Yeah,
I would just be done.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like because of the nature of the allegations, yes, to answer the question, I do think YouTube should have some level of responsibility in like maybe monitoring the content she's posting, you know, before it actually posts, or I don't know how that would work in particular, maybe just after it posts, but times have changed too, you know, like humor has changed. Like that is about the only grace I can give to this situation though.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a crazy development. Shocking that it happened at this time and just all of that, but wanted to keep you guys updated. Is there anything else you wanted to say about it or anything?
Not that I can think of right now. I mean, I still think it's a little bit shady, you know,
yeah, for
like
sure.
Especially when you know, have people that have put the timeline together, you know, and silence and then 2 to 3, 4 minutes of, oh, I didn't, you know, obviously I in a roundabout way caused some pain, but by the way, here's how things are going, and
I'm gonna just keep
viewing my stuff so I make money, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. Sad.
It is.
But,
okay, well, I think that should do it on our episode. A little shorter one, but we hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving.
Or happy Indigenous Peoples Day. You know, whatever you celebrate, if you do or don't, you know, try to take the time for yourself if you don't have to work, or spend it with your family.
Yeah, and let us know your thoughts about the Colleen situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be curious to know what other people think.
For
you
sure.
know, like, I don't know, just complex situation for sure.
For sure. Okay, well, we will see you next week.
All right.
Bye.